Hi everyone, we are Group 12 and today we are going to talk about the impact of plagiarism on scientific integrity. First of all, my name is Akmal Hisham. Before we start, our presentation has a few important points about plagiarism and how it affects science. We hope this helps you understand the problem better. Now let's begin with the first part. What is plagiarism? Plagiarism is when someone copies another person's work or ideas and say it is their own without giving credit. In science, this is a big problem. It can break trust and give wrong information to others. Plagiarism doesn't not only hurt the person who does it, but it also slows down the progress of science.
My name is Mirza Rushadi bin Rusli, and now I'm going to be continuing with the literature review. Firstly, the introduction. The foundation of reliable and forward-thinking research depends on scientific integrity. The principles of honesty and transparency, together with accountability, form the foundation for conducting and reporting research. Plagiarism violates these values because it involves taking someone else's work or ideas or words without giving them proper credit. This review analyzed plagiarism effect on scientific integrity through research, evidence and theoretical models and policy evaluations to understand academic and research plagiarism extent. And then, defining plagiarism in scientific research. Plagiarism exists in different forms which includes direct copying, paraphrasing without reference, and self-plagiarism. Notes that even minor misinterpretation of information is considered unethical in research. The Council of Science Editors notes that not properly crediting sources distorts the scientific record and makes it difficult to verify and build upon previous findings. And then the consequences for scientific integrity. Plagiarism causes substantial damage to the trust that exists between scientists when they communicate with each other. According to Martinson et al. 2005, ethical misconduct, which includes plagiarism, creates doubts about the reliability of published research findings. The resulting skepticism about scientific research leads to decreased public trust and institutional trust, which limits science's ability to inform policy decisions and societal advancement. The inflation of publication metrics occurs because of plagiarism-related retractions, which also damage both meta-analysis and literature synthesis. And then lastly, conclusion, scientific integrity faces a severe threat from plagiarism because it erodes trust while distorting academic records and causing damage to reputation. The root causes of plagiarism, including pressure to publish and cultural misunderstanding, need a comprehensive solution while detection tools continue to advance. The credibility of scientific inquiry depends on three essential measures, which is education strengthening, ethical research environment development, and researcher accountability.
Hello everyone, my name is Hazik. Now let's talk about a critical consequence of plagiarism and scientific misconduct, which is the erosion of public trust in science. Firstly, we have seen high-profile cases of scientific misconduct, such as the fraudulent research that falsely linked vaccines to autism. These incidents have significantly undermined public confidence in legitimate scientific findings and continue to fuel misinformation. Secondly, the rise of paper mills, organizations that produce fraudulent research paper for profit, has worsened the situation. One major publisher alone retracted over 11,000 papers, highlighting just how widespread the problem has become. Lastly, these issues don't just affect public perception, they also waste valuable research funding and can discourage honest researchers. This creates a chilling effect, stifling innovation and progress across various scientific fields. Together, these factors show how misconduct not only damages individual reputations, but also harms the entire scientific community and the public trust in it. So, I will move for the next part. Thank you.
These are some examples of plagiarism. The first example is Jan Hendrik. He wrote many papers with amazing results, but later people found out that everything was fake. Because of that, he lost his PhD and his job. The second example is Vista Jitgupta. He said he found some fossils, but after a few years, scientists discovered that many of the fossils were fake. Because of that, he also lost his job.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Nabil Rosbek, and today I will be presenting the discussion part for impact of plagiarism in scientific integrity. So first of all, why plagiarism is an ethical issue in science. Firstly, there is ethical violation. Plagiarism breaks the values of honesty, integrity, and respect for intellectual property. And second, scientific trust. Research relies on originality and transparency. Plagiarism damages this trust and misleads others. So the research need to be open, clear, and honest. Next, the causes of plagiarism. So there are 5 causes of plagiarism. First, lack of awareness. Many students don't understand plagiarism or how to cite properly. Second, academic pressure. Fear of failure, heavy workloads, and tight deadlines led to students to plagiarize. Third, poor time management leads to shortcuts like copy pasting. The fourth, language barriers. Non-native speakers may struggle to write in academic English that makes them to want to copy from other paperwork or other work that led them to write in much more perfect English, academic English. And lastly, internet access. Because of today's internet has allowed many students, people, researchers to make it easy to copy or basically access other people's work from digital sources. Next, consequences of plagiarism. There are 4 consequences of plagiarism. First, destroyed student reputation. When a student committed plagiarism, it will lead to suspension, expulsion, or academic record damage. Second, ruin academic career. Once labeled a plagiarist, it becomes difficult to publish work or hold academic position. So when a scientist have been labeled a plagiarist, it will be difficult for them to publish their work or hold academic position in any institution. The third, professional repercussions. Public figures, researchers, or journalists may lose jobs and credibility. So if they committed plagiarism, they will lose their PhD or maybe lose their job in an institution. The last one, monetary penalties. Legal action may result in financial compensation to original authors. So when one committed plagiarism and did not give credit to the original authors, the original authors can sue them to get a compensation for their plagiarism. Now, move on to types of plagiarism in science. There are 6 types of plagiarism: verbatim plagiarism, copy pasting exact words without citation; mosaic plagiarism, mixing copied phrases with one's own words; paraphrasing without credit, rewriting ideas in your own words without acknowledging the source; self-plagiarism, reusing your own previously published work without disclosure; cyber-plagiarism, copying from the internet or online sources without attribution; image plagiarism, using images or figures without credit. Next is real-world example analysis, Vishwajit Gupta and John Hendricks Kohn. So we will analyze what kind of plagiarism have they committed and analyze it. So first, self-plagiarism. John Hendricks Kohn reused the same graphs and data across multiple papers without disclosing it. This is a clear case of self-plagiarism where one republishes their own previous work as if it were new. This misleads readers and journal reviews about the originality of the findings. Second is cyber-plagiarism. Vishwajit Gupta is known to have copied content and data from other scientists, often sourcing materials from existing published work, likely accessed digitally. This falls under cyber-plagiarism, where information from the internet is copied without proper citation or permission. Third, mosaic plagiarism. Both Scone and Gupta presented the ideas and findings of other researchers while mixing them with their own words or rearranging them slightly. This manipulation of content without full attribution is called mosaic plagiarism. It gives the false appearance of originality. The fourth, verbatim plagiarism. Gupta directly copied fossil research from others and claimed them as his own, including the exact findings and terminology. This is verbatim plagiarism, which involves copying text word for word without citation. 5. Image plagiarism. Scone was found to have used the same experimental graphs or images in multiple publications, sometimes presenting them as results of entirely different experiments. This is a form of image plagiarism as visual data was reused dishonestly. The last one, paraphrasing plagiarism. Both cases likely involve paraphrasing plagiarism, where the original work was reworded or restructured but not properly credited. Even when not copied exactly, using someone else's ideas without acknowledgement still qualifies as plagiarism. Moving on, why does plagiarism matters in science? So first of all, there is integrity of research. Scientific progress is built on truthful reporting and proper acknowledgement of past work. Second, respecting others' contributions. Ethical science values prior discoveries and ideas. Third, avoiding misinformation. Plagiarism can introduce errors and mislead future research. Lastly, trust. Plagiarism work discredits institutions and damages public trust in science. Next, impact on the scientific community. So first, damage reputation. These cases from Gupta and Scone made the scientific institutions and journals involved look unreliable. Second, wasted resources. Time and funding were spent pursuing or building on fake findings. Third, weakened public trust. When public sees fraud, like the one Scone and Gupta have doing, in science, they become skeptical of all research, even honest work from other researchers. Lastly, increased scrutiny. Such scandals lead to stricter peer review and more barriers for future researchers, even those acting ethically. So basically, they will be much more stricter in order to make sure there is no more plagiarism involved in the future experiment and research. Lastly, preventing plagiarism. In order to make sure the impact on the scientific integrity will be minimized, we need to prevent plagiarism. So there are 6 ways to prevent plagiarism. Firstly, cite properly. Always mention the source, author, year, and the publication. Second, use quotation marks when using someone else's exact words. Third, paraphrase carefully. Change both structure and wording and still cite the source. The fourth, use plagiarism checkers. Online tools help detect accidental copying. The fifth, avoid unreliable sources. Don't use Wikipedia or other non-credible websites. The last one, quote your own previous work. Even your own writing must be cited if reused. That's all for discussion part.
Last but not least, I will talk about the conclusion. So, the conclusion that we get from plagiarism is more than just copying someone else's work. It's actually a violation of ethical and academic standards. It can lead to serious consequences, including damaged reputation, academic penalties, and loss of trust. So, by committing to originality and properly crediting source, we not only show respect for the work of others, but also demonstrate integrity, responsibility, and professionalism. So, upholding the values is essential not only in education but throughout our personal and professional life. I think that's all from us. Thank you.